Hi, welcome to another episode of Jeev from a Podcast. Today we have an important topic about human factors in corporate boards. I have been there in board discussions, especially for smaller companies. It is extremely important to be aware of the human factors, and even for larger companies, especially looking at some of the huge giants who have failed in spite of having a great board. We really need to understand what can be done from the human side. Many of these boards of the companies who have failed miserably, these members are highly qualified. Many times they do have investment in the company, so it's not that they just let the company go. It's not at all that. Many a times they have fairly reasonable information, so it's not that, especially with the financial skills that they bring in according to the contribution they make to the board. They do have information, they do have the technical skills, they do have the communication, they do have an interest in making the company survive and succeed and prosper. Even then, things fail. Even then, we see there are some hidden agendas, there are various lines of communication between the board and the rest of the company. Why does that happen? Why do the boards don't go straight through the CEO or the directors, the executive team? And it all comes down to culture. It all comes down to the human factors. It all comes down to whether you have been shoved with a huge report just a couple of nights before the meeting, or even if you have been given more information, how much do you trust that information and how you go in. In fact, there are many studies, one of them being by Harvard Business Review, and they propagate a circle of trust, candor, and respect. Trust, candor, and respect. And this propagates communication, this propagates leadership, and this propagates a healthy relation between the executive team and the board. It's not just about following the rules, it's not just about ticking all the check boxes. It's more than that, because it's a collective responsibility to govern the company. And candor, and in fact, these three terms, they form a virtuous cycle, because each one of them is going to drive the other one, and it keeps on repeating and repeating and repeating. Apart from that, other human factors are generally there, especially at board level appointments, because these go with a very high level of selection process. But one thing that people miss is constructive difference, constructive arguments, constructive way of making your opinion stand, especially the desire, especially when someone is younger or has not been in many boards, the desire to fit in with the rest of the boards, the rest of the board members. It can actually lead us to remain a bit silent, which is extremely wrong. I think it's the job of the board to be to speak out. And this is where even the executive team is coming up, that we are talking constructively, because the final aim is the same. The final aim is to let the company go in the right direction, to govern it properly, to ask challenging questions within the purview, and this is where fake politeness is a no-no. In fact, if you're hiring, especially if you're a small company and you're hiring a board of directors, write down specification. In fact, take people who are extremely clear in their communication, even if they have to differ with you, and see whether this difference is helping us, or is it just somebody just not being nice at all. And hence you can improve the quality of interaction, and a lot of things can be detected if boards talk using the human factors involved. Get out of the formalities for a moment and understand the key vision. A key vision, why we exist, why the board and the executive team exist. And the moment that is clear, you will not hesitate in communicating, whether you're on the executive side or whether you're on the board side, whether you're an entrepreneur finding a board, hiring a board, appointing for various reasons, or you're a big company where these formalities can become quite boring and constricting in a way. Let me know any other suggestions that you have seen in boards, if you want advice in appointing a board. And remember, there is a difference between board of advisors and board of directors. I have a separate video on that. I'll send you a link if you comment below. The board of advisors is something extremely useful, especially if you're a smaller company, without going into the formalities of board of directors. I believe that was useful. See you next time. Step it up. Bye.